Hello, my dear friends. This is the first video that I'm recording in a while that is not a cover after, I don't know, 2 years. I've been uploading shorts lately, and if you're following me for those shorts, thank you very much. This is my very first video after a while, and what we're going to do today is actually we're gonna do a version of Enter Sandman because I'm teaching that to my students right now. For some reason, I just had this dream of a very creepy, dark, extreme Enter Sandman version, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Basically, it's all going to be VST, so I'm just gonna share the arrangements that I have in my mind. I'm just gonna produce it, and I hope you have fun. Alright, here we go. What I'm gonna be using today, the plugins that I'm gonna be using are basically a keyboard. So I have a folder for the MIDIs, and that is my Nexus, which I'm gonna be using for church organ. Probably I'm going to modify it a little bit. I have thousands of instruments right there. You have the MIDIs, and then you have the folder of the tracks with pretty colors. Isn't that cute? Okay, so we're gonna record the first line. I had this idea of starting with a piano, and I hope it sounds good. So here we go. Let's gonna record it. Okay, next thing we have to do is quantify it. I like to record the MIDI and not program it physically here in the computer because it sounds a little bit more realistic because of the dynamics down here. These VSTs are really good, but sometimes they sound fake because of the dynamics. Okay, and then let's gonna see how it sounds. So you see, every single measure is kind of like different, and that's why it makes it a little bit more realistic. Okay, now I just recorded the guitar. I don't like the effect. I think I do have to get another effect. Now it goes something like this. Alright, I should play the drums right now, but I think what I'm gonna do right now is add the organ effect. Let's gonna see how that sounds. Alright, so I just finished everything. Let's gonna see how it sounds, the intro. Not bad, not bad. I like it. Okay, so let's gonna record the next part, which is the drums. Okay, now we're gonna quantize this thing. Okay, and I can see right here that this there are a couple of mistakes that we're gonna fix. All right, now we're gonna kind of like diminish a little bit. This is the bass. I wanted the bass a little bit louder, and I wanted. It's really important that the floor tom. It's really like each beat is kind of like similar, but I would say that what I want is how I will play it. Every two notes, it's gonna be like accentuated. So I'm gonna select every two notes, and then I'm going to mark some kind of accent on it. Right, so here we go. And of course, because this one is the tone one, I'm gonna accentuate this a little bit so it can outstand, because those offbeats are really matching the guitar, so it needs to be really loud. Alright, so I'm just thinking that the floor toms, how I will play it live, is like the floor toms with the tone 1 will be actually accentuated as well. All right, let's gonna make those beats a little bit louder. Now I don't want this drum to sound like I'm killing the drum, that I'm hitting really hard, because this is just the intro of the song. So I'm gonna balance it a little bit more. And then I'm just gonna put it over there. And I'm just thinking that maybe these hi-hats are too loud, because, you know, I'm just gonna balance it a little bit because we want a stable dynamic. Not so loud because it's the beginning of the song. Okay, so we have the drums here ready in solo. Sounds good in context. Alright, I already worked a little bit on the distorted guitars over here. I was thinking in this part I should add something on the organ, something like... Alright, here we go. Not bad. I like it. We'll leave it like that. Right, now I'm gonna take that melody of the organ and I'm gonna do it on the bass, because I like to play a lot with the bass. So it's gonna be something like... Yeah, that sounds good. Let's gonna record it. This is sick, I love it. So in context, that sounds kind of like this. Very good. So this is basically what we call translation of the motif. When you have basically an idea on the flutes or violins or whatever, and then you take it to the basses. Is really attractive, and in metal I like to play a lot with the bass. Now I have this idea of basically doing triplets for you know, the guitar, and doing some offbeats with chords, so that sounds something like this. This is sick. So I recorded that with offbeats and everything matching with the drums. And I already recorded some of the basses or bass here. And in this part, I'm kind of like mixing the arpeggios that I have here before with the bass. I'm mixing it with the guitar, and it sounds something like this. Now this part I really like it a lot, because here I'm doing a lot of stuff. Let's gonna just hear what I did right here. And it gets a little bit more sick. I'm sorry for the bass player. Thank God that this it's just for fun. Nobody's gonna play this. Alright, and with the guitar, I'm just adding kind of like more offbeats or accents and triplets to the last part of the intro, and it's gonna sound like this. I love it. Okay, and I wrote down already the bass, how that is building up, and it's gonna sound something like this. Not bad. Here we have the offbeats. And very good. I really like the last part of this. Pretty good. Now let's gonna see how everything sounds in context. I love this thing. Thanks God that this is just for fun. Nobody is going to play this because it's insane and it's just the intro. All right, I think that was long enough. I guess I will call this the episode 1. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this experiment. Maybe I will. If you like to hear the whole mix of this intro, please support me on Patreon so you can download it and you can listen the whole track completely mixed, right? If you like this crazy experiment, please subscribe, support me on Patreon so I can, I don't know, buy a better camera and do better videos. Anyway, thanks for watching and I will see you next time.